Where am I?
Okay, so sometimes when a new hire is adjusting to a severed space, we help by bringing them here to the stairwell to experience the transition viscerally.
Oh, no. I'm trying to leave?
No, no. It's all part of the process. If you want to spin around and head back in, that should be that.
All right, our next guest is a Largo, Maryland native and an Eleanor Roosevelt High School graduate and an alumni of Hail, Hail to the Jackson State University. We are everywhere. He's also one of the stars on the Apple TV Plus drama Severance. We're talking about actor Tramell Tillman, who joins us now live to talk about this series, season 2. Good morning to you, fellow Jackson State Tiger.
Good morning. Good morning. Fired up, J-State. Fired up.
J-State, fired up. All right, we'll talk about Jackson State in a minute, but let's talk about you and your career, and in particular this show. Tell us about, first of all, how you got involved in this show.
So I was doing a show on Broadway. I was doing my first Broadway debut, The Great Society. And unfortunately, the show was closing early. So I needed to find a job. So I was back on the pavement auditioning, and this particular show came across my desk. Like so many other auditions, you know, you go in, you make choices, and then you leave it alone. You know, you walk away from it. And I got a call back. And with this callback, I had the opportunity to sit with Ben Stiller and Dan Erickson, Ben being our director and Eric being, or Dan being the writer. And I knew that it was a success because I made Ben Stiller laugh. So no matter what was going to happen, I knew that that audition was a success. And then I found out that I booked the role in January of 2020. Right. And I was heading in for a fitting around February, March. And that's when we had to stop because of the pandemic.
Right, right. And so the success of the show right now, though, is still successful. Yes. All right. So tell me about why you think you're having success on this show. What is it about this show that people like?
I think it's applicable to where we are. You know, it speaks about our relationships, whether it be personal, whether it be business. It speaks about the corporate structure that we all deal with in some way or another. And it also speaks about identity. You know, we spend so many hours of our lives working. And, you know, when we go home, what do we have left? Who are we? And what are we willing to participate in? What are we willing to give ourselves to? And I think this show speaks to that.
All right, so you grew up here in the DMV. We just talked about that in the intro. What is it about the DMV or growing up here in this area that helped get you ready for taking on Hollywood?
You know, there's a grit that DC has. there's an ingenuity that you have to have in order to navigate it. You know, there's creativity, there's community, and I've been so fortunate to encounter so many of my friends and colleagues being in the DC metro area that I still talk to today that have lifted me up and supported me. I actually got my first start acting at First Baptist Church of Highland Park on Sheriff Road, Landover, Maryland.
Wow.
And I was doing a play. Yeah, my mom pushed me to get involved in the church, and we were doing a play, and I had one line and one direction, and that moment really skyrocketed my interest into acting. So I owe so much to the D.C., Maryland area. Okay, all right, real quick, we only got 30 seconds left, so I got to get it in. What is it about the Jackson State University that helped get you? I know how it helped me, but what is it about the Tigers that set you up to get to where you are today? I mean, for me, it was always the teachers. Of course, it was community and the students, but Dr. Mark G. Henderson, who was head of the theater department over at Jackson State, was very instrumental in pushing me to pursue. Oh, so then you know that he champions for his students, you know? And that was he was such a great cheerleader for me and inspired me to go to grad school. So if it wasn't for him, I know that I wouldn't be where I am and have the education that I do have. So I'm 100% grateful for Jackson State and all the things that it has afforded me. Yes, we definitely are grateful to the Jackson State University. Hey, thank you very much for spending time with us this morning. Appreciate you and continued success on the show and everything else you have going on in Hollywood. Thank you, sir.